Hey everybody, welcome to Chicory's Travels. Today we want to talk about how we solved one of the biggest challenges of living and working in our RV, the internet. So when we first started RVing, we used the campground Wi-Fi, which we found was not very conducive to doing any work or basicing doing anything on the internet.
Yeah, FaceTiming boys. Yeah.
So we suffered with that for about 6 months or 7 months, being grouchy and grumpy and trying to find a solution. We ended up getting two Verizon jetpacks.
Yeah, they look like this.
Which really helped in the locations we were at, particularly if there was a good Wi-Fi signal and there were towers located, within a reasonable distance that we could pick up some service. But it still wasn't ideal when we were camping out in areas where cell service was very little, and you only got like maybe 1 or 2 bars on your phones and on the jetpacks. We also used a cell phone provider that was not very good.
No.
So we changed providers, and that also helped, improve our Wi-Fi capabilities on our phones. And you can use those like for hotspots up to a certain amount, and then you can also use them to do, regular searching on the internet or, FaceTime if you have an iPhone to talk to the kids and stuff. But still, we were still suffering from slow internet, particularly in those areas, like I said, where the signal was weak. Even in some places, like right outside of San Antonio, we were at a nice campground and they had decent Wi-Fi, but when everybody was competing for the same Wi-Fi, it was really slow.
Yeah.
So we had some friends there, Dan and Lisa Brown from Always on Liberty, and they got a WeBoost. So we went over to their RV one day and checked it out, and
we took our
jetpack, and it went from like 2 bars to 5 bars. Yeah. So that pretty much sold us on getting a WeBoost or some sort of signal booster. So we happened to have met about a month prior to that. Eric and Tammy Johnson, who own they're full-time RVers. They're entrepreneurs, and they own a web store called Techno RV. And so I emailed them and told them what we were trying to do and asked them what WeBoost was recommended for us. What WeBoost did they recommend for us? And so they asked me a couple of questions, and then they gave me the model that they recommended.
And they'll do that for anyone. It wasn't just because we met them. That was just how we heard of them. But like, their logo is to buy it through them and get educated through them and get support through them. You can buy these types of products on Amazon or from other companies, but you don't know what type of customer service you're going to get, and that's what's so great about Techno RV. So we're going to put a link in the description below for Techno RV to 2 different things. One, just directly to the WeBoost that we have, so you can see what our solution is, but secondly to a video that they have that actually explains about the more in-depth, technically, I guess, about the WeBoost and what might be a better solution for you. And then you can also contact them through that website link.
And the other reason why we chose to use them and contact them is because they are RV entrepreneurs, and we like to shop RV local, as we call it, and support other RVers through their entrepreneurial endeavors. So they recommended the WeBoost that we got, like I said, and we've been very happy with it. We've had it since
February?
Since the end of February. We didn't want to do a review video right away because we wanted to travel to some different places. And one of the places we were at was actually Wellington, Texas, which the only way you could get a decent signal to do any sort of work on the internet was if you had a WeBoost.
And not even work on the internet, because this is cellular data that we're using. So it's the same type of thing as your cell phone too. And when I would leave the RV in that little town, I would look at my phone and it would say no service. I mean, not even a part of a bar. But when I was in the RV, I would get enough service on my cell phone to be able to make phone calls and also to use the internet on the phone, as well as to be able to use the internet on our computer from these devices.
So we'll show you how we installed it on our RV. The WeBoost came with a mounting clip so you could mount it onto your ladder on the side of your RV. So that's what we chose to do. We just hooked these clips around our ladder, and then the outdoor antenna mounts in there, and the cable that runs to the indoor equipment just hooks in underneath. It's just like a regular television cable cord. So that's pretty simple. Instead of going through the roof, drilling directly through the roof, we chose to go through the vent fan cover to run the cord from the outdoor antenna to the equipment inside. So I just drilled a hole in the side of the vent cover, used some silicone sealant to seal it up, and this vent cover actually runs right into our loft in the RV. So we're inside the loft now. And this is the fan vent that we ran the wire through on the outside, and as you can see, it's coming in right through here. From the vent fan, I ran the wiring across the top of the loft over to the back of the loft where there is an outlet, and I was able to plug in the WeBoost and also plug in our jet packs up here and install the main part of the WeBoost. So as you can see, we have a curtain up in our loft because we use it for storage, so that hides all the wiring, which is why I didn't really try and make it super neat or super organized. I just made it so that it was functional. Coming off the wall here in the loft is where we put our indoor antenna for the signal to reach throughout the RV, and then we also keep our jet packs up here and have them plugged in so that we can get maximum efficiency out of the WeBoost. So that's how we installed it. Pretty simple. It took me about 45 minutes, I think, to drill the holes, run the cables, and mount the antenna. Not much to it, really, and it's really been beneficial for us.
It has, and you'll notice in our setup that he had our jet packs up in the loft area close to the, what do you call that, a receiver or something inside?
The indoor antenna.
The indoor antenna. And that's because for optimal use, it needs to be like about 18 inches. So we have found that leaving them up there work really well. We are also fortunate that we have an outlet there so that we can plug in our jet packs, you know, so that they can stay charged. And as we mentioned earlier, we've had great results with it. And just one last thing, you probably already know this, but just to clarify that this WeBoost, it boosts the signal for existing data plans that you have. It doesn't like give you more data or make your internet necessarily faster. It just makes your signal better so that if you are having lagging internet or inability to connect to internet because of the signal, this improves it.
And one other thing I wanted to mention is that when we're driving, since we're usually in warm places, we like to leave our generator running so we can keep our ACs going. And that will also power the outlet where the WeBoost is and the jet packs. And Julie has been able to do quite a bit of work on the internet while we're driving in the truck. So even that distance of what, about 40 feet doesn't seem to impact it at all. No. And we've been able to get work done while driving. So we hope you liked this video. Please smash that like button and click subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. If you didn't like it, click the dislike button and tell us why you didn't like it. And until we see you on the road, safe travels.